Hello, 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 beautiful people. I have more people coming on. I have another couple of people coming on. Hello, Tom. How are you? Looking pretty tan.
Who?
You?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I haven't gotten much sun this year at all. It's been overcast and cloudy for months. Probably maybe 10 good sunny days. It's been strange.
Before we start, guys, don't forget to go subscribe to Tom's channel. You know, I'm drinking water. You're so healthy, but you
This
look
is
tan. You look red.
I take really hot showers, so but
Oh, what's that?
this
What's that?
this is like my favorite water in Mexico.
Ciel.
Yeah.
Ciel.
It's
And if you had
good.
an O at the end, if you had an O at the end, it would be cielo, which means sky.
Yeah, it's actually really good water, very tasty.
Really? Is
Yes.
it like just water or does it have something in it?
Well, this is mineral water on this one, but they have regular bottled water and their containers don't have any PBAs in them, so there's no microplastics. And you
Oh.
can actually taste the difference. I mean, I'm not plugging their company. I don't get
No,
paid for.
no.
I don't get paid for their company, but I drink a ton of water every day, no matter what, religiously, and I'm very particular when it comes to good water.
You know what? I don't know if you know. I don't know if you follow football. I don't mean American football. I mean European football. I can honestly tell you, I think I'm one of the biggest fans of Cristiano Ronaldo. You probably don't know who he is, and he just launched this new water called Ursu 9, but it's actually pretty good water. It's very filled with alkaline and it's very healthy. But I never heard of that water that you're drinking.
Yeah, well, normally I liked Crystal Geyser before, like in the States, but once in a while you can find Crystal Geyser down here. But even Crystal Geyser, you can still actually, sorry, Crystal Geyser, but you can still taste the plastic
Oh,
or something. It's just, it's off. I mean, water should be absolutely, I mean, water is just so good. It's so refreshing. And this is the best water I found down here. So,
oh wow, pretty cool. Tom, this is Tamiyaki. She's another YouTube channel. She's in the States.
I watched your video this morning, by the way.
Hi, Thomas. I'm Tumi. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
It's what's your name again? I'm sorry. Is it Tamila?
Tummy.
But
Tumi. It's
Tumi.
Tumi.
Oh, okay.
Tumi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tumi. Okay.
Yeah. You actually follow my other page, the Duchess Diaries official. That's my page.
Nice to meet
So you
you.
follow that page and you comment, and I'm like, oh my God, Thomas Markle. Yeah, that's me.
No, I watch you on Instagram.
I'm a former fan of your sister. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a former fan of your sister. So like, it's pretty surreal to like to actually
What
see you and interact with you.
what made you cross over to the other side?
Oh my God.
Oh man. So this is a very long story. This is a very long story, and it's even embarrassing to say that I was a fan of hers, but basically I fell for like the glossy PR package that she was selling the world, that she was just this blogger, actress, hardworking girl who just
Yeah.
so happened to make it at 30 and then on a show on USA Network, and then just so happened to meet Harry and fell in love, the engagement interview version of events, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, she's pretty, she's fashionable, she's American. Her being biracial didn't really care about that, but I'm like, okay, that's cool. But before Megan even existed, I was a fan of Catherine, like
Yeah.
forever. You know what I mean? I was a fan of Catherine. I was a fan of the royal family. I was a fan of like royal women and how they dress.
Mm-hmm.
And this all started with like Maria. Then when Megan joined the family, I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, but I knew Wallace Simpson was the last American to be, kind of a royal family adjacent. So I was like, oh, I hope it doesn't turn out that way. But surprise, surprise, it did. But basically, I was a fan of Megan, and it's funny because I was thinking about this yesterday because Paula told me about the live, and I remembered how like in the sugar circles on like fan account circles, there was this chart that used to be passed around when Meghan joined the family of like Meghan's accomplishments, about how she was like interning in Argentina and how she was like a college graduate and double majored and all these so-called accomplishments. And then next to it was Catherine, where it was like, oh, she graduated college and then married William, and that was it. And so it was already like, when Meghan joined the family, there was already this like tension of like, oh, we have to protect Meghan, which to me was always odd, because I was not a crazy sugar. I was the person who was like, well, you can support both of them. What's the problem with supporting both of them? Because I know that like Sarah Ferguson had said at one point that like the media was pitting her against Diana. I wasn't there. I mean, I was born in the 90s, so I don't know if that's true. But I was like, why should they not be friends or not talk or whatever because of the media and the fan accounts? Because the fan accounts, that's a new phenomenon. You know what I mean? Like in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, there wasn't the whole concept of social media and fan accounts. So like, but what happened was the South Africa interview was what
back then you just duked it out in the parking lot.
Exactly. So what happened was the South Africa interview, like when Meghan was pregnant in Australia, right? That's when I was like, something was weird here, because she wasn't even far enough along to be doing the bump clutching, and that was just weird from jump. Like as soon as they announced she was pregnant, it was like, the baby, let me hold the baby, and I was like, what is going on here? Like, what is?
Yeah.
But I was just like, let me just give her the benefit of the doubt. It's her first pregnancy. I'm just gonna, like let it go, whatever. But it was just weird and distracting. I found it distracting because I'm like, what is she doing? Like, and then flicking the coat open all the time. Like, I was like, what is she doing? Why does she keep doing that? And then also some of her outfits were just not royal. And I was like, why is she dressed like this? Like, what is going on here? But so the South Africa interview, because my parents are from South Africa, when she sat there and it's like, yeah, not many people have asked me if I'm okay, I was just looking at her like, this is not the time and the place. And then the day after, they were like suing the press, and I was like, what? This is literally not the time or the place of all places. Like, you didn't give this interview in Britain. And I was very confused at why Archie was allowed to like be outside, when in reality the British people have never seen Archie in flesh on camera.
Well, neither have any of the other Markle,
except for like the
that's because you guys, the holograms don't work outside. They just work inside.
Literally, like after the photo call with the Harry carrying the doll. After Harry carried the doll, we couldn't see Archie. Like, there's no photographs or videos of him being a live breathing baby, like in the flesh in Britain. And I was like, wait, so Archie can go to Africa, but he can't go, you know what I mean? Like, where's the videos of him? Like, there's nothing.
He couldn't go to Rosarito to meet Mr. Markle.
Whatever the controversy is, I mean, really, the whole world doesn't know the deal with the kids. It's just really sad.
Yeah.
Because the only pictures of them are like so old, and they're not even, who knows? There's so much controversy.
Yeah.
I think the only reason that those kids would never see UK soil is because I don't think Meghan will let them ever see the UK soil, because that's her anchor. That's the only anchor she has besides her hook and besides the ball and chain she's got on Harry. So,
but Harry has legal rights to take his kids out abroad for a vacation. The international treaty for child abduction would only kick in if he stays there for more than 6 months. But he has up to 6 months to have the kids without officially declaring. But that's another thing, Tom. I don't know if you guys know this, but I was absolutely blown away with this video this morning about this, because how people say that the royal family never changed their website. This was updated this week when everybody was, they removed Harry's HRH from the website. He still has it. They didn't see this change coming, and I'll show it to you right now that I can do it, because I couldn't do it before. Well, no, this is a different one. I'm gonna go into Harry's, because this is the royal family, because they changed this just now, which is really interesting because it has tax and other issues. Because you guys know, I don't know if you know the difference between being domiciled and being a resident. You can be resident in different places, but you can only have one domicile. So they switched this thing here. Before it used to say he was given the title Duke. That's okay. And then he goes, this was updated. The day he married Miss Meghan Markle, which is wrong. It should be Rachel Meghan Markle, in May 2018. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have two children, Prince Archie of Sussex and Princess Lilibet of Sussex. Their official residence is Frogmore Cottage. This was updated, guys, very recently. But as announced in January 2020, the Duke and Duchess will spend the majority of time in North America following their decision to step back as senior members of the royal family. Before, it used to say they will share their time between North America. Remember that, Tommy? To me?
No, I don't. It's so, I mean, this changes every day online.
No, but that's very important. And this is for people to understand, because while they say that that is his official residence, that also implies taxes, because Harry and Meghan officially don't own a home in the United Kingdom, in the United States, nor the United Kingdom. But it says that their official residence is being changed again, is Frogmore Cottage. And that has tax implications, domicile implications, all kinds of implications. I mean, what do you think? I mean, what do you guys think?
I seriously thought that was going to read their titles got changed to the
I'm confused because
to the duck and dipstick of Montecito. I mean, but oh well, I guess the king's not ready for that.
No, I thought that Eugenie, wasn't it Eugenie and Jack, weren't they at Frogmore at one point before they moved? Because remember they said that they were renting the place out. I don't know. I was confused. Yeah. So Meghan and Harry still own Frogmore, and they're renting it to Jack and Eugenie?
Changed this past week. That was changed this past week, because before they had removed that. Remember how they had to remove that? Mm-hmm. They had removed Frogmore, and it said that they were sharing their time between North America and the United Kingdom while continuing to support the monarch. But now it's been changed again this past week as that their official residence is again Frogmore Cottage, and now that they're spending the majority of time over there, but it's still their official residence. You know, it's unbelievable. And Tom, I was thinking about that when I read that about you guys, because I was thinking that this is the reason why a lot of people are sitting on the fence and not acting really more decisively towards Harry and Meghan. Because when people read that, they're supporting the monarch, because it says there's another link, but I don't want to bore you guys. They're supporting the monarch, and the same thing goes for your sister. So people are wondering, what if they go back to the royal family? So they are playing on that. I mean, and it affects you, Tom, and your family in a very hard way, because she continues to have. And here we have Miss Pidina.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry. Go ahead. What were you guys talking about?
I was just talking that in the royal website, Pat, they have changed it again. That now Frogmore Cottage is their official residence of Prince Harry, and that he's not sharing his time between the UK and the United Kingdom, the US and the United Kingdom, is that they're spending the majority of their time in the US while still.
Oh, wow.
It was changed this week. So I was telling Tom that affects him and his family. How's your dad, by the way, Tom?
He's good.
Oh, it's good. Awesome. But that affects them, because people, when they read that, they go, wait a minute. So is there a chance they're going to go back? Because nobody really wants to attack the royal family, and it affects his family, because this is why Meghan has a lot of power. Not that she has power herself, but that the monarchy or the royal family are playing these kind of games, I think. And it's not healthy for anybody to be like this. But I mean, I find that really odd that they changed that so quietly.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird to me, because it's like, if I had a job and I quit the job, and then I said, I don't want to quit the job. I want to quit the job, but I still want the benefits. And the job website, instead of saying, Toomey is a former employee of this company, it's like she lives in Paris, but she's still supporting the job. Like, how am I still supporting the job when I made a public announcement that I'm quitting this date, effective immediately? I'm going to go start my own company. I'm going to go live my own life. But the job website is still saying Toomey still supports this job. That doesn't make any sense. And I live in another country. Like, I don't really understand how that works,
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous that they can even try to make that their reality. It shows you their entitlement. It shows you that they're trying to make money off of the royal family. There's no genuine um, thing that they want to do. Everything is created out of strategic planning to empower themselves.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous, and this is why I think they're so people criticize them so much, especially Megan so much, is because we live in the real world. You know, our reality is that we could never get by, just like you were saying to me. You know, we could never do these kinds of things.
Mhm.
And I think Megan will always have this kind of criticism because she can't seem to, and along with Harry, only because he's following in line with everything that she says, but she never really wants to try to be authentic in the world of reality and how things are done. She thinks she's the exception,
Mhm.
and you can't be, especially when you are to be of service to the people. People can read through that, and I don't know, I just hope the royal family gets wise to her, and I know there's some certain things that they're trying to protect, I think, but I don't know. I just think that they really have to show her. I mean, they're the only real ones that can lay down the law for her, like give
Exactly.
her the smackdown big time. Like
Exactly.
no, stop. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just want
Especially.
to, Kat, I just want to say something to Kat. Kat, you have to go into Prince Harry's biography because that's where it is. They hide those things sneakily. Like if you look at that, the overall thing, but if you go right into his biography, that's where it says that his official, and this was changed because they removed that part where you say that they're balancing their time. That was removed, and there's now it was added
Mhm.
that now they spend the majority of their time in the United States. In fact, I was saying to Tom that that has
Mhm.
serious ramifications in the sense of that the press doesn't want to really fully support you guys in case your sister goes back to being royal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Well, that
right.
would
Yep.
be the first time. We're used to it.
No,
Yeah.
but yeah, but it is true because people are sitting on the fence pretty much.
Yeah.
And
Well,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
for one thing that will never change. Okay. I mean, my father shares the same grandchildren. I'm always gonna be an uncle. My sister's always gonna be an aunt. And so, it's just, I mean, is this the endless story that's just gonna continue to play out in the media? Probably. And I mean, is Megan someday gonna bump her head again and come back to reality? I mean, and say, oh wait, I do have a family. So
Like, I'm so sorry to be this person, but was she ever in reality? Because that's your sister, so you know her. Like, Paula, don't laugh. I'm being serious. I swear.
yeah, no,
Like,
that's
in the
a
sense of
lot of
like
a lot of
people,
a lot of
people who are
people.
very like there are people, there are people who are very like narcissistic, and from the jump, they realize, okay, what can this person do for me? So they only
Yeah,
become friends with people who can do things for them. And like Tom, if you were Brad Pitt, you know that Megan would literally be glued to your hip because you could do so much for her and open so many doors. And being
what do you mean
Tom,
if I
what is
was
this?
Brad
Brad
Pitt?
Pitt's sister. Which, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
If she,
What if Brad Pitt
yeah,
were
if she
me?
came from like came from like a super famous Hollywood family that would like every single person in the family was super duper famous, she would never have abandoned you guys. You guys would have been front row at the wedding
Exactly.
or
Yeah.
sitting next to the
Yep.
queen. So it's the
Regardless.
unfortunate part is, yeah, Thomas Senior could only do so much for her. But then once she's with your dad and getting all these benefits of acting classes, which I don't know why, but they didn't rub off well. I don't know what she was paying attention to in acting class and dancing class, because we saw the Beyonce videos. She doesn't have a step of rhythm. I'm sorry, because that's her sister. But
Yeah, yeah, I
like,
know. God, I mean,
she got the
I've
acting
never.
classes. She got the private schooling.
Oh wait, sorry for the delay, but
No, I'm sorry.
yeah,
She
I
got
mean,
the acting classes. She got the private school. She got all the benefits. Then she jumps to Trevor, who's a man, who's not just a man, he's a producer. He could do things for her. So, you know, she's with Trevor, and I'm not opposed to dating people in the creative industry. I'm a creative person myself, but come with your own talents and abilities and your own accomplishments. That's my opinion. I cannot just have nothing in my satchel and say, well, I'm just going to go be with the guy to do everything for me. Like, that's to me not like, don't you have, I have pride.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying about like
as a creative person to say,
I know what
these
you
are
were
the
saying
things
about
I've
like
accomplished.
the
These
lack
are the
of
things,
talent.
these are the works of my own hands, you know?
Yeah, I know what you were saying about like the lack of talent. I mean,
Yeah, but so, yeah, then she jumps from Trevor to Corey. And all these people, like when you look at Megan's social circle, all her friends are not friends. They're benefactors, like beneficiaries, benefactors, people who can do things.
Let me your connection.
It's all
Find a
producers.
better connection because you're breaking up.
Oh, this person is connected to that person. It's like a spider web. Like when, according to Taz, did the Soho House video.
Hello. Are you guys able to listen, or is it me that's freezing?
no, I can hear.
Okay.
She's freezing for me.
She's freezing for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. But what do you say about the family? Well, Tumi gets back. What were you saying about the family? Like, was she ever family orientated or?
Yeah, I mean, you know, most of her young childhood was all, you know, revolved around family and get-togethers, and you know, her entitlement issues pretty much came when she got her first job on Suits, and after Daddy paid for college, and she was off, and I mean, Daddy floated the bill for everything, and then as soon as she got Suits, you know, she dumped Trevor and she dumped my dad because there was nothing left that they could do for her. And that's pretty much what it's about. She's running out of people to use.
But you know, your
Very
father
quickly.
your father, excuse me, your father was nothing not to sneeze about. Your father was a 3-time Emmy winner.
Yeah.
He was well respected everywhere.
Yeah. My father got her first acting roles or extra roles in the business. You know, I mean, the dance lessons definitely didn't pay off because that last dance video of her at that concert looked like somebody stuck a stun gun up a giraffe's ass. I mean, it was just.
Do you guys want to see it? I mean,
oh my God,
Paula, I would be careful about showing that.
Okay, I won't show it. I won't show it then.
I mean, you can
turn to find it. I'm sure everyone has seen it.
Yeah,
yes,
you can turn the volume down, I'm sure, but yeah, it's
it's
something
actually, but you got paid for those lessons, Tom.
yeah.
I guess he never saw her actually learn how to dance.
I saw her on so many play productions in her schools growing up, and I saw her in dance class.
No, wait a minute. I have to stop you there. She said that you are a distant family member.
Yeah.
So you were not there.
No, I watched from the back room. I watched from a distance. Yeah.
Of course.
Peeked around.
So you went to a lot of her plays, yes.
Yeah.
And how was that?
Well, it's just a little, you know, it's nothing special. It's just she always had to be like right there in, you know, in the spotlight. But I mean,
I can guarantee you that if your sister's watching this, you just called her not special.
I mean, what teenager wants to go to, you know, little kids' plays? I just did it, you know, to be nice, but
right.
you know,
but time you were a young kid, yeah.
She changed. She totally changed when she realized, you know, when she was on Suits, she made it. She was already there doing her own thing. There's nothing more that Trevor or my father could do for her. And then she was done there. And
when did you start to notice the change? Was it like, hey guys, I'm moving to Toronto, I have this show, and she's so excited and you guys are talking a lot, and then she just stops communicating? Or like, when was the shift where like maybe season 2 or season 3?
I noticed when the house got really cold and you could see your breath and things were flying around the room. That's when it really sunk in for me.
I see dead people.
I see dead people.
That was actually a good movie.
The Exorcist.
No, that must be funny. But Tom, when you left, where you moved to another state, right? Or were you still in California?
I stayed in California. They actually came up with they wanted to move to Hollywood. So we were in the Valley out there for, I don't know, what, 4 or 5 years or whatever. And then all of a sudden they want to move to Hollywood and I didn't want to. So I got my own place, I think right when I was 18.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you did leave home earlier. And you're older
No,
than
I didn't leave home. Home left me. And I didn't want to go to Hollywood because I had already moved around so much in my life. I was tired of making new friends over and over again.
Mm-hmm. But you know what I think is interesting is how, when she said in the Netflix documentary, I don't know this Samantha. I don't know her name. I don't know her birthday. And like you were saying, Tom, you guys had holiday get-togethers. Imagine you coming to see your father. Megan is there. Why is Megan there? Well, she goes after school to the set of Married with Children, and she is living full time with your dad for a period of time.
Long
And how
time.
she tries to paint the picture that she was only there on the weekends. Well, excuse me, if you grew up on the set of Married with Children, you're not only going there on a Saturday, because I'm not even sure if they even shot on Sundays.
Yeah.
Maybe on a Saturday, but that's usually a Monday through Friday gig, right?
Yeah.
So the contradiction between her, she grew up on the set of Married with Children, and then not knowing you and your sister when you guys clearly would come over to see your father, and she's there, and the holiday. It's just astounding to me that the blatant lies that even people like Oprah and Gail, the people that know her, don't even try to call it out. It's so clear that this woman is lying. How can you not know your half siblings when also there are photos, right?
That's what you get when you play the victim card to the T.
Yeah.
Poor me. I'm a victim of this. I'm a victim of that. Everybody buys into that shit, and they don't do their job as a journalist to find out. I mean, how many pictures are out there on the internet of the family?
that is not even that hard to investigate. It's out there. All they had to do was contact your father, and your father, by the way, did go up to Oprah to ask her to give him the right of reply, which she of course denied him that right of reply to all the blatant lies she said about him and his family, which is it's
good
so
job,
much
Oprah. Good job.
I mean, I admire your father. I gotta tell you, all that shit he's gone through. And I'm sorry, to me, I know you don't like to swear, man.
No, I do actually. I just don't swear on my channel.
That your father has gone through, and I mean that I'd be livid. I think the Latino part of me would have done something more decisive. I mean, your father's too nice. I got that, and you guys are too nice.
But that's I mean, everything my dad did for her and has done for her, and he's been there for everything, no matter what. If she needed anything, she never wanted for anything. For what she's done to him as far as brushing him off, and all these people involved in staging those bad pictures of my dad right before the wedding, and stressing him out so much to where it probably did give him a heart attack. I mean, that's And then I was in London when that happened, and I said, I have to go. I have to go right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got
what were you doing in London, may I ask? Because that was around the time of all the news articles and
they flew me out there to sort of commentate and do little stories while the wedding was going on. And
stories that you were gonna do that. You were gonna be like commentating. Probably would have been funny to hear.
Oh man, I didn't know that, Tom. I didn't even know that.
So at that point, I was going to jump on a plane and come back, but I got hourly updates, and he was stable and he was doing okay. So I was going back in a couple of days anyway, right after the wedding. So, but just how you just don't. I mean, that could have been postponed. I mean, it's just very, very strange. I mean, she shouldn't. And then no visit, no nothing. A pissing match about texts. I mean, the texts are out there on the Daily Mail that my dad did while he was in the hospital. It's an article on the Daily Mail where my dad says, "I'm sorry, they won't let me fly. They put stents in my heart." I
feel really bad. How can you be apologizing for something like that? It's beyond. I don't understand.
With the stroke, I mean, come on. No phone call and no communication for the years in between the heart attack and the stroke. Not one text of any communication whatsoever.
Wow.
And she claims to be this person that she's not. She's a horrible actress. I mean, if you're trying to pretend you're a humanitarian, you know, you should go work at McDonald's because you're not an actress. It's just ridiculous.
She needs to be called out continually.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious
her
that
sister
the
Samantha, who was
humanitarian.
at her graduation and was with her growing up, spent more time with her than I did, Samantha did, has been in a wheelchair. I mean, here we go again. Is there one phone call? Is there anything I could do for you to make your life easier or better? Is there anything you need? Not one phone call, nothing. Nothing at all, except for attacks her for trying to write a book.
Yeah.
I mean, that little weasel of Miss Gobi dedicating a whole chapter to your sister. It really shows how psychopathic Megan is. I'm sorry. I know
that chapter was just so cruel. Like, oh, she has different kids with different dads, and she dropped out. She didn't go to college, and blah.
Yeah,
it was just vitriol.
Yeah. And he doesn't know his ass from his elbows anyway. I mean, who the hell is this guy, Omid Scobie? little freaking cuts. Go away and just do something with your life. You know, talk about riding coattails. Get your own life,
right.
But I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that the book was written by Megan, allegedly. Like, it just has Megan's fingerprints all over it.
But why the hatred, Pat? Why do you think she has so much hatred? Because, you know, people here, you should see the comments that they're leaving here. You'll see them, but they're very lovely towards you. That you guys, the other Markles, are very funny, genuine, down to earth, you know. And why the hatred do you think, Pat, would be for Megan in regards to them? Because we're looking at it from outsiders. Probably, Tom, because you're the brother, you can't see why she would hate you. But what do you think the hatred you two girls, you know, that is.
Well, she's embarrassed of her family she's embarrassed of her family. She only wants to be around, like, you know, Tom, you were saying earlier that, to me, the A-listers, like if she were black, or if you were Brad Pitt or something, you know, and that right there just shows you how pretentious she is. She's not authentic. She's not real. And the one thing that I do like about Kris Jenner, despite all the people that have come into their families' lives with their issues, like the boyfriends of her daughters, she welcomes everybody. You don't have to be somebody that comes from the upper class or be someone who's got a great reputation. I mean, what was the guy's name that court?
Chris Rock. Chris Rock. He did a funny thing. Actually, the worse off you are, the better.
The better.
Rockhead addict who's bipolar, over depressed. Come on, you bastard! You know this is Chris Rock.
Yeah, come on. I'll take you all in, right?
Yeah,
and that's the thing, and that's what people who are real do. They take you with all your flaws and everything. But the thing about Megan, she wants the pretty people. She wants the people who are glamorous. She wants the pretentious, glittery life, high class. Because she only wants, that's how she sees herself.
She only wants people with 12 or more bathrooms. That's it. You know?
She wants, the things that are fake and false.
The weird part about all that is that, like, there's nothing wrong with aspiring to a nice life at all, in my opinion. But if you throw everybody else out of the bus on the way there, that's the problem. The people, like, you're literally the people who paid for your college, the people who you wouldn't even be going to, you know, the fancy private college you went to if your dad didn't pay for you to go to the fancy private school that you went to, or the fancy elementary school you went to. Like,
it's not like anybody in the family asked her for anything ever.
Yeah.
I just want to point something out too. I just want to point something out, Pidana. I do agree with you with that, but I also think that the real reason why Megan didn't want and because this is not just the black or the white side, she didn't want anybody other than Doria, because Doria was willing to go along with her lies. I really do believe that. But I think that she, for example, had Samantha shown up in a wheelchair, and Samantha is pretty, you know, like people would have drawn attention. There's this excellent comment here. I don't know if you can see it here. She could have, the lady who's leading this comment. She could have worked so much with Sam and helped with American Disability Act, or even in the United Kingdom. And I actually said that many times in videos, because I would have been one had I married into royalty or something like that, and I had my sister like that. I would have said, "Hey, Sam, let's look into MS. Let's bring awareness to that. My dad had 2 heart attacks. Let's talk about the heart, the Heart Foundation or something like that." She could have used that platform that is not hers, but she finds herself with that and brings Sam. But that would have meant that Sam would have taken the attention away from her.
Right. And she didn't want that. She wants it all for herself. She doesn't.
And the crazy part is that the crazy part about that whole situation is that even if Samantha is disabled and has the attention on her for that project, Meghan is still the Duchess. Meghan is still the royal. Meghan is still the one on the balcony next to the Queen. So like someone else can have the spotlight for a day or a week or a month. That doesn't take anything away from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is wrong with her? Well, she's a narcissist. That's what's wrong with her.
Well, didn't she take away the little crown when she went to that birthday party? Samantha was talking about it. So she clearly couldn't let the birthday girl have the attention on her own birthday. I mean,
it's just crazy. But you know what? At this point, I think the fault really does lie with Doria, because she should make her daughter do the right thing. And Doria is just as much at fault with all of this, because she should be the one talking to her daughter. You do not treat your father like that. But I think the problem is that Doria had an issue with Tom having 2 children. And it was always Doria trying to make it her husband and Meghan. Am I not correct with this, Tom?
No. I mean,
they always throwing you and your sister out of the picture?
Yeah. Samantha mentions that quite often about, like, there's, they were like, had all these they were starting a business called 3 Cherubs. And my sister goes, "Oh, that's nice," and well, who are the 3 cherubs? And it's like me, Bunky, and Tom, or whatever. So Doria, Meghan, and my dad, and had nothing to do with us. I mean, it goes along with the ultimatum that Meghan gave my dad before the wedding, that the only way that he could go is like if he disowned me and Samantha.
Which is so ridiculous. Like, are you kidding? Like, the thing about if I want a man with no other kids, marry a man who hasn't had children. Don't marry a man who already has children and then say, get the kids out of here, like you're in Cinderella or something. Like,
but Dad was a meal man. Dad was a meal ticket for Doria. That's why.
That's what I said, because she quickly divorced him after, like, they were together for 2 years, married for 2 years, and then separated for 4, and then they got divorced. After she gave birth to Meghan, like her anchor baby. Then she gets
hooks in my dad, right?
That's absolutely. Did you ever spoil Meghan? I gotta ask you.
Who, me?
Yeah, were you nice to her when she was a kid?
Of course I was nice to her. I'm nice to everybody.
I'm just kidding. You know that.
I mean, I only duct tape her to the ceiling one. But
So, did you used to babysit her?
Yeah, I babysitted her.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Were you ever part of her? It's just, why I'm asking all these questions. You have no idea the amount of emails I get. Oh, he wasn't even around. He didn't know. He left her after she was 1 year old. What does he know? That's what
I'll tell you. It's right now. It's story time with Tom Markle Jr. Listen, here's a good one for you. Okay, so one time, I came home from school and I had my friends with me, and we were sitting down. This is when MTV just came out, and it just started. So we're downstairs in the den watching MTV, and Megan's upstairs crying. My dad's up there. Doria, I don't know where Doria was, probably off somewhere else, but Doria was crying, or Meghan was crying. She obviously needed her diaper change. This is when she was really little, right? This is how cool my dad is, and his sense of humor is just flawless. So he asked me to change her, and I said, hell no. Especially in front of my friends. You don't do that. I'm not going to change with my friends. Come on. so
I believe you're that
like, Dad, whatever, So anyway, we're downstairs, and I'm not going to tell you what we're doing. We're just watching MTV and having a good time. And,
okay.
And so my dad comes downstairs, and everybody knows that Megan just got her diaper changed, and he sits down on the couch, right, with a diaper and a spoon in between me and my friends, and I'm like, my friends are like about to pass out. I already know it's chocolate pudding.
Oh my God.
So, my dad's sitting there just eating chocolate pudding, and my friends are like, oh.
So what, he was making fun, like what, well, like her diaper being changed was the equivalent of eating chocolate pudding, or
No, he was
what?
playing a joke. He was playing a joke because I wouldn't change the diaper, so he was playing a joke on me and my friends.
That he was eating her food.
Okay, just
Oh my
trying to
God.
embarrass you even more.
Yeah, but it was obviously a brand new diaper with chocolate pudding in it. You know?
I see. So
not the old diaper with chocolate pudding in it.
Of course, that kind of chocolate pudding. That's so funny.
Yeah.
So
Oh
funny.
my God. You know how embarrassing that is to a teenager?
Yeah.
Oh my God. My daughter gets so embarrassed over the littlest things. That would have driven her mad, insane.
That's
Just
absolutely
making
cool.
fun like that.
Yeah, but I just want people to understand that because people are also, they use sophistry, which is, oh, distant, she meant that they're far away. No, and this is my interpretation. When she said distant relatives, she didn't mean distance, because
distant relative is like your cousin's
in
cousin.
LA or whatever.
Yeah.
Cousins, they can be across the world. I have a friend I have them all over the place, but they may be far away, but they're not distant relatives. You know what I mean? I mean, I pick up the phone, and I'll tell you something later, Tom, after we finish here. I can pick up the phone and say to one of my cousins, hey, this mother effer, that's mofo, is bothering me. Can you do something about it? And he goes, all right. Well, my middle name is Patricia. So he goes, all right, Pat, on it, you know? And even I can go 2 years without speaking to this cousin of mine. But, you know, the minute I pick up the phone, he's there. And I would never call him a distant relative. So when Megan said distant relative, she didn't mean that they would lived in Arkansas. She meant that she didn't know them.
Even if they did live in Arkansas, it wouldn't matter. It's still a relative.
Yeah, and I mean, we live in the time of phones.
Exactly.
We don't live in the time of like when you had to send a letter and send it across the ocean for 2 months, and then that's when you got to talk to people. Like, what is she talking about?
Yeah, and we don't live in the time when most people just still live in the same city, the whole entire family. People now are way more independent, and they spread out. Like my family, we've spread out all over the place. I have family in New Mexico, Florida, Oregon. You know, it's just Pennsylvania still, New Hampshire.
Toronto. My son in Toronto. My son right now is studying aerospace engineering in Toronto. I'm so proud of him. I have to say the whole thing because I am so proud of him. I don't understand. I not even 100th of what he talks about, but I am proud of him, you know. But if Henrik, and I know, I don't even know if he's watching, but my son knows the day he says my mom is a distant relative, he knows his mother is getting on a plane and I'm going to beat them. And we will have some conversations, you know, that will indicate to him that his mother is not a distant relative. You know what I mean? It's just because my son is in Toronto right now and I'm in another, country doesn't mean that we're distant. So for those people who keep going on at it, it doesn't matter. Tom is her brother. He was there when she was born. His father wanted him to wipe her ass and change her diapers in front of his friends, which is embarrassing.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell did I do? Why are you punishing me?
Right.
But I mean, when you reminisce about all of this, Pat, can you believe it? What would you do, Pat, if your sister did that to you after reading your book?
God, if my sister, even a cousin, I'm telling you, even if it was a cousin, I am going to go confront. Look, I know this woman, okay? You ain't gonna try to act like you don't know me. That's the biggest insult of all. It's like I exist. We have history together. There's just no way
There's
you
also
would
a
do
big
that.
difference. There's also a very big difference between my family and a lot of other families that are dealing with the same issue about like family members that cut you off for no apparent reason just because of whatever their problems are. If this was any other situation and I didn't have to live my life out in the media, it would be no big deal. I couldn't care less. So like, fine, I'll never talk to you again. But I have to answer for all these things. that people call me and
Mhm.
tell me.
And the things that happen to you the things that happen to you are scrutinized because she is your sister. So
Yep,
you're forced to deal with it and to have a public life. You know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the
So,
difference, and that takes so much getting used to. It's not even funny.
but you know
I
why
couldn't
though you have
imagine.
to
Yeah.
answer? Because the way she went about it, she just didn't say, no, they're my family. We're not, the way she vilified you guys. She put you on the spotlight as the villains. So
Yeah,
therefore the entire world, because it's not like, okay, I'm not gonna invite them. No, she had to go and write that fucking book. And sorry, I'm swearing, with Omid
Yeah.
Scobie, because now we know she committed perjury in the UK courts when, I forgot like the 100 gazillion emails I had an exchange with them and all these things. She actually vilified her own father. And I just want to get back to you at something here. Okay, let's pretend that they couldn't stop the wedding ceremony itself from happening, right? Because, it's too many people invited or whatever. But she didn't need to have that party. The party could have been stopped. And she didn't need to go on a honeymoon. She could have said, you know what? I'm going to have the wedding ceremony because it's already a big deal. Security arrangements is costly. But you know what? I'm hopping on a plane to see my dad, the one who paid for everything for me. Whatever the issues are. But the reason why she didn't do it is because she wanted to continue vilifying, because you know what people were saying? How bad is he that even his own daughter wants nothing to do with him? Instead of people the other way around.
terrible.
Like how terrible they are, And whenever
Yeah.
you try to defend yourself, it's like, oh, you're attacking her. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and even like what people started calling the family. I mean, first of all, I don't think there's anything wrong with squirrel tacos and living in a trailer and making moonshine. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
I mean, I've been.
hey, you got to make a living.
I know, but just to have to go out on the defensive and try and prove yourself when nobody will listen because the continued PR machine is being paid to continue. And we don't have those resources to go and dominate the internet on who we are. It's just, like I said, it's horrible and it takes a lot of practice and it's a big learning experience. So
it's a horrible, I'm so glad I don't have that, because I had it a little bit with my ex-husband. Okay. But thankfully Norway is not he's not part of the biggest royal family of them all. The people that have the biggest platform on the planet. I think one of the biggest platforms on the planet is the monarchy, the UK monarchy. I think we all agree with it. So when Meghan Markle highlighted you guys as the villains and her not speaking out and instead saying, oh, they're attacking me, I don't know where they're saying that, that made you guys, and I gotta say, I've said this before, please tell me what you girls think. When I saw your sister in her wheelchair, because I didn't even know Samantha was in a wheelchair, because everybody was crashing her. When I saw
about 25 years, maybe a little longer now.
Yeah, when she tried to deliver that letter by Buckingham Palace and the guards did not let her in, you know what I said to myself? Shame on the royal family.
Yeah.
Shame on the royal family. I'll tell you why. Because, okay, Meghan is crazy and everything, but they should have given her the courtesy because they knew that she was related to Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
I agree 100.
And say, you know what? Come in, ma'am. We'll serve you some tea. We'll whatever. Shame on the royal family to have that lady. And I mean, Samantha has a disability, but she's not stupid nor disabled. She's one of the smartest women, more feisty than I ever met in my life. But the royal family showed no class, allowing that to be done like that.
I wonder what would happen now if me and Dad went over there.
That would be very.
Oh, that's a good one. You need to contact King Charles.
Yeah, hopefully
contact your
audience.
You know what?
Yeah.
Have you thought of maybe going? I mean, you guys have more access than we do, but you can have your father ask, or you ask, why that your father would like an audience with the king. You can request an audience with the king. Your father can request an audience with the king.
What do you mean an audience? You said an audience?
Yes.
Yeah, have a meeting with him. That's what the term is.
Yeah,
called.
that's what an audience is.
That's how they say it in Britain?
Yeah. Yes. You can request an audience with the king.
Hey, Thomas, I'll go as your guest.
We'll go as your guest. I'm serious. You know that your father can actually do that. You can request.
Yeah.
That's actually by law. If you request an audience with the king, I mean, or somebody from their office will have to get back to you. And if you go on, for example, with Dan Wooden or anybody else, you say, you know what, I would like a serious audience with the king because this is affecting us. We are family.
Yeah.
You are family.
Wow.
I don't know if I should.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Hey, I think you should do it, Tom. Serious.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I don't say it to be funny or whatever, but I'm saying because maybe if your father talks to the king, he can come up and say, you know what, you need to make this stop.
Because think about it, Tom and the king have a grandchild together. They are both the grandfathers of the same child.
Exactly.
Think about that.
And
Children,
right.
And Uncle Tom, let's not forget about Uncle Tom.
Because you have to accompany him, and he will have
right.
And he will have P. Dinah, and Paula along. I'm just kidding. You can have your entourage. It will be your entourage.
Yeah, and I'll have to think of a really good photographer I could hire to take along
the
with
ladies in waiting.
Oh, the ladies in waiting. That is so good. No, but I'm serious. This is something that you can do because your father can put out or do an interview with somebody serious, and say, you know what, I need to speak to the king. I'm requesting a very public audience because nothing to do with pap or anything like that, but it's just that what my daughter is doing is causing me and my family a lot of harm.
Yeah.
And the royal family have the power to stop this, to prevent this, at least from removing them from the royal website, because people still think that they're there. You know,
this is a continuing problem
there.
Continuing. This is never going to stop.
Yeah, because exactly, you can say this will never stop. I don't care if my daughter is attacking me, but the fact that she's being portrayed as a working royal in a working website, and it gives her backing. The fact that she's allowed to lie in the United Kingdom courts. And by the way, justice is imparted in the name of the king, of the monarch. And they didn't persecute her for perjury in the United Kingdom, which she committed perjury. She didn't misremember. This is a woman who was who talks about things from
Yeah, isn't that judge driving a new Rolls Royce now?
He's a lord or something like that.
Yeah, I know he came up really good on that too, by the way.
Yep. No, but that's it. I'm not joking. You can, by law, you are entitled to do that, especially since you're family. And it will be very interesting. And you can send the letter. You can make it public. You can send the letter as well. I'll give you the address.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do it. Definitely going to do it on a public video platform. So
yeah, but you also send it to Buckingham Palace. You can also send it to Buckingham Palace, and you will receive an audience. You will receive an answer, even if it's not an audience with the king, or you might have it privately. But you can request because it's affecting your mental health, your emotional, And I'm going to say, I don't know. I have lupus. And stress is one of the things that accelerates my lupus attacks, because the stress creates adrenaline and it creates a bunch of other stuff in your body. And the stress that your father, even you, Tom.
Yeah.
You know, and your sister, you tend to lose patience and you snap quicker now than probably you didn't before. I might be incorrect.
No, I try not to do that because I just try not to do that. I used to snap.
No, but what I mean is, like, makes you more impatient, you know, like when you go through so much stress, like you say now, you have to defend yourself in public for things you haven't done.
Yeah. You know, it's definitely takes a toll on your health. Stress is horrible. Just to have to deal. I mean, I remember like walking around and like people pointing at me, you know, and the feeling you get is pretty bad. I mean, you just want to crawl under a rock and go away. But I've just, you know, I try to deal with it. And my dad too. It just, what's happened to my dad is just, I don't have enough. I do have enough words, but I won't say them. So.
Yeah. Were you ever attacked, like physically attacked, or somebody verbally attacked you or something like that? Or did you receive hate mail, like proper stuff? Or
well, yeah, a lot of comments. I mean, I used to get a lot of bad comments, and lot of bad articles, but no physical attacks. So
Well,
Yeah,
you're
I
big.
have a
lot of
question.
physical
Like,
threats.
how did this affect like the people that you know in real life? Because even after like me talking about like Beyonce, Meghan Markle, someone told me one time, "Hey, to me, like I saw an article about you." I was like, I don't want to read it. I don't really
Yeah,
care. People are gonna
yeah,
say whatever they want because some of my videos about Megan went viral or
yeah.
whatever, and they can talk
Don't read
about
the
whatever they
comments.
want.
I read
Yeah,
the
but like,
comments now because they're all good.
yeah, but like, what did your own friends and loved ones say about all this drama? Because it kind of like happened overnight in a way.
Yeah, people who have known for many years say, "Why don't you leave your sister alone? Stop being an asshole. You know, what are you doing?
Mm,
You know,
wow,
what kind of brother does that to her sister?" And I go, "You have no idea."
wow,
So
wow.
Yeah, when it should have been, what kind of sister does that to her
yeah,
family when she becomes
Yeah.
famous?
yeah,
It's amazing, depending on the mindset of the people you get, because I have a sister like that. My only sister, I have that, and she is really bad. I mean, she's pretty awful. She was like my baby girl. I mean, she was like the daughter I never had, really. But and then when she did what she did, I was like, I would have been able to forget a lot of stuff, except when you try to mess with my son's life, that's taking it a step too far. And but it's at least I didn't have to deal with it. Well, I did deal because mother he did make it public, and a lot of, in my circle at least, I lost a lot of people I thought were my friends. But I am actually quite grateful, because then there were snakes and they didn't back me up or anything, in spite of the fact that they knew me. Does it happen to you that you lost a lot of people that you thought were friends?
yeah, yeah.
Wow. And you
I
know what is
mean,
so ironic about that, Tom, is that
but you,
with
even
all of
it also
the,
turned family against family inside my
Mm,
family.
Whew.
You
yeah,
know, I mean, my own son, my ex-wife, started this smear campaign against,
yeah,
and come to find out, when you dig those articles up, and people talking shit about their own father, like my sons. I mean, had, like, I don't know where they got it from. I can only imagine, where he got it from, and probably the same source where everybody else gets it from. But to go on there and call your own dad, like, make up a website or whatever, or a Twitter page called Ozarkle Markle. I mean, it's just
mm,
the turmoil
that's
and
terrible. Yeah.
in every aspect of my life over all this shit from Meghan Markle and her lying mouth. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just
Yeah. What's the
Wow.
thing of
Wow.
befriending Ashley from a woman when she said that she didn't know Samantha that well? Why would she
yeah,
go?
that didn't make it a lick of
yeah.
sense.
See, there we go again, digging on the other side of the family. It's like, who does that? I mean, you have
And
to be
you know
sick
what?
in the head to do that.
You do, but think about this. How can she say that she doesn't know her sister Samantha, but when she's the daughter of Samantha? But
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
and goes
how can that
yeah.
even be? Like, you step over the mother of the person that you say you do know.
yeah,
What? That's
and posing in so many pictures together, and you don't know her. I don't know
Yeah.
about you guys, but I just go walking down the street and take random pictures with people I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she the way she made it seem was that like her and Samantha didn't talk for 50 years because I have a sister, an older sister who lives abroad, right? And I have a nephew and I know them. They are my family. But she makes it seem like if my sister and I didn't talk for 30 years and then my nephew just hit me up out of nowhere and said, "Hey, I want to come to America and live with you." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Like, what about your mother? My sister? That doesn't make any sense. That literally does not make any sense at all.
right.
Like, that doesn't make
Exactly.
sense. Yeah.
Actually, it was Samantha who gave Meghan Markle her own daughter's email, so they would get in touch, because Samantha told this in a live, that because she thought it'd be cool for them, because they're almost the same, they're younger, so she figured it'd be cool for Meghan to get to know Ashley. So it was Samantha who gave her the email. So it goes to show the lies, and the part about you said, Tom, but your family turning against each other. I mean, that's the worst part of it all, because you were
Yeah,
telling, we did a live and you talked that you actually had what's it called, Thanksgivings with the Raglands.
yeah, many times. Thanksgiving,
Okay,
Christmas.
wow.
You know, Dory's side of the
Wow.
family is a pretty big family. We had, you know, really good times. So
That's
That-
sad.
yeah, I mean, I don't
yeah,
even
I cry myself to sleep every night now.
smell water. It's funny. It is so funny. You know, you're a lovely guy. I know we have never met in person or anything like that, but you're the kind of guy that you can actually have a beer or tequilas, and it's actually a lot of fun. You know, and you seem to be a guy that if you're a friend, you would be in somebody's corner. You know,
Yeah.
so I mean,
Mm.
what do you guys?
Yeah,
What do you guys think? I mean, and you have a lady who really like to know you, Claudia Salas, I think, and so she's. I mean, what do you think, Pat? What are your impressions of all of this?
I'm sorry, who's this lady Claudia you're speaking about?
Claudia Salas says that Tom is a hottie, that she would like to meet him.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. On the comments, okay. Yeah,
I,
you know, I think.
that's funny. I met a Claudia about 3 weeks ago here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh, here it
Okay.
is, Claudia Salas. She goes, yes, yes.
You know what?
Are you that Claudia? Are you that Claudia? Are we getting an exclusive here, Claudia Salas?
This is so funny.
I think we should try to get a reality show going with Tom and
Yes, no, wait, no, you're on the right track because I actually thought of my very own reality show. Who wants to make a royal baby?
yeah, there you go. Because you know what, Tom, you are royalty now.
That's right. Carry on the family name.
You need to find. We need to put you in a reality show, and I'll host it.
Yeah.
And we'll find you someone to, hook up with.
6 lovely ladies will be flown
I'll
off to an
interview. I'll
exotic
be the one
destination.
interviewing. I'll be the one interviewing the possible ladies. That'd be fun.
You know what? And this is the thing, Tom. No, seriously. So, like, when you have a child, so your children now
Yeah.
are the nieces, the first cousins of Meghan. So your children would be the first cousins of Meghan Markle.
Yeah,
So that would be a great reality show.
sure would.
Matchmaker time. Let's find you a match.
Oh
Like The
my
Bachelor.
God.
What's it called? That The Bachelor that they get.
Come on, Netflix, cross the picket lines. You can do
There
it.
you go.
No, this is so funny. No, but Tom, what do you think is the? What do you guys are gonna? What do you guys think that it's so hard because this is not going to go away. I don't think this is going to go away anytime soon, as long as your sister keeps exploiting that title and until things are apologized. Tommy, do you think that Meghan, you're younger than all of us here, do you think that Meghan would ever apologize to?
I think Meghan, I thought that Meghan would apologize only if it was televised. I think if she had a TV special where she was getting paid like $1 million to film some sort of family reconciliation, that would be the only time. If she basically was so hated that the only thing that she could do is make up with her family, she would make up with her family just to
boost her personal image.
Yeah, so I honestly think that she would have a staged. There's no way that she would go by herself in like the middle of the night on a private plane with like one security guard to Mexico to see her dad. There's no way. So she would have to have it be like some televised Oprah reality special where it's like her, Harry, and she's sitting there like playing the grieving daughter, not grieving, sorry, wrong word. The sad daughter of like, oh, daddy, pulling on the heartstrings, like she said but it's gonna be more of her bad acting. Yeah, it's gonna be more of her bad acting and fake tears, and I can cry one tear left eye go. I can cry so well on command, and it's gonna be just her fake crying and being like, "Daddy, I never wanted all this to happen. When you had your 2 strokes, I didn't know what to do." Like just fakeness.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see it ever happening. Like a genuine apology. It has to be like, oh, we need to boost these the favorability, Meghan. Let's get you on the TV with your dad, and Oprah's gonna be there, or one of those, whoever, like, or it's gonna be in Oprah's backyard, or it's not gonna be at Montecito with the kids. It's gonna just be for Meghan. Like, I think it would be Meghan, Not her siblings. I don't think that Thomas Markle Jr. and Samantha would be invited. So it would literally just
Yeah,
be the
but
dad.
but if it ever goes down, it's going to be millions and a package deal. Know that,
Yeah,
Megan.
yeah, yeah. And like the photos would be everywhere because it would be like, oh,
Yeah.
the reconciliation of the century. Like they would have to boost it like to the stratosphere of
Yeah, so this is why
newspapers,
the entire Markle family has been sitting in the penalty box ever since before the royal wedding, is because Meghan gave Dad an ultimatum: disown me and Samantha if he wants to go to the wedding.
Yeah.
This is why she just tells lie after lie about her family and continues to act like, you know, she cares. It's just, God, does she realize what an idiot she looks like in the world?
I
I don't
know.
think
Serious.
I don't think that Meghan has that thought in her mind. Like
Yeah,
I
but
don't think
the
somehow
whole
the
rest of the
switch
world
is
knows.
not.
And she still continues to just like put on this facade. I mean, pull your head out of your ass. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you look like a moron.
Yeah, you're so right, Tom. Yeah.
But Thomas, you know, and what do you think, Pat? Do you agree with that, or do you think she would?
I think exactly right. I said that. I made a video about that. That's the only way she would apologize. That's the only way. Let's keep that, real. There's just no making up with, authenticity with her. Not gonna happen. No.
Yeah.
And I think the bigger picture is this, though. I think more people that come into her circle need to make her accountable. They see it and they need to call her out. But maybe they're just using her as much as she uses other people. So, they're even.
Yeah.
But people like Oprah, I just can't get over people who are high profile, who preach morality and try to tell people, the right things to do and to, to be better. But yeah, here they are befriending somebody who has treated their own family, their father, their disabled sister, brother, like she's doing. And I think it's appalling that these people are not calling her out, because that's the only way this woman will wake up and get that, head out of her butt. Like you said, Tom, is when people, hey, say, look, Meghan, what you're doing is wrong. What you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I mean, Oprah just wanted views. That's the only reason why. She would have never given, like Meghan being on the cover of Vanity Fair. That wouldn't have happened if she didn't talk about Harry in the interview, if she wasn't dating Harry.
Well, you guys, was that real bird shit on the dress on that interview?
It looks like it.
I think it was. I think
she was copying Wallace Simpson yet again.
Yeah, she was.
With the dress. Yeah.
Well, if it wasn't bird shit, it sure looked like one. I mean, everything that came out of her mouth was basically shit, so either it was the dress or it was her own mouth. I mean, there's somebody here asking if all of this is painful for you, Thomas, still.
Yeah, it's always going to be that way, because like I said, this is going to be a never-ending saga drawn out in the media until my documentary gets some good speed behind it, which it's slowly starting to do. I mean, then it'll actually shed light on a lot of things that people are wondering about. But it's an ongoing pain in the ass, and the worst part about it is so unfortunate for my dad that I have to live with this stress every single day.
Exactly, because you see your dad
possibly losing my dad at any given time. That's why I'm here every day. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be with my dad, for whatever. I mean, I'm not going to leave, because I don't want him to be vulnerable and have to be that scared of being alone and having a stroke ever again, or something, God forbid, something else, and for, his asshole daughter to not see that and to go about her life like without a care in the world is the most disgusting behavior of a person I've ever seen in my life. So it's very painful and it's very stressful. And, I hope the whole entire world just wakes up and doesn't give her another job as long as she lives, and just treats her as though she treats everybody else like shit. So I on the other hand, I treat everybody as though I want to be treated. But
right.
Meghan, you should be embarrassed and you should be ashamed of yourself to even go outside of your house ever again, because I would be if I were you.
But then that would require for you to have some form of shame or conscience. You know what?
Exactly.
I think she will ever ever apologize. I think that the only way she will do this if she can get an apology from your father, and then she will probably say, I'll give you X amount of money if you apologize to me, and we can film that, because she's been demanding an apology forever.
And my dad doesn't have to apologize for anything.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
No, he's done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, Tom, why the people around her need to make her accountable. They are just as much, I think, well, partly at fault, because they're the ones that see her all the time, and time is passing by, and your dad is not going to be around much longer. And if they're not calling it out and forcing her to take accountability, when something happens, the people in her circle should be accountable, because they are the reason why Megan never got off her butt and did anything, because they're
and
going
Harry,
with her.
I think everybody's scared of Megan.
Harry has no balls.
Harry needs to man up. Okay.
Dude,
he needs to repair. Put your wife in line. And tell her to stop bullshitting the world. Be a man, dude. Seriously. And tell her. Do you
remember during the Meghan and Harry, do you remember during the Netflix special where she said there was a time in their beginnings of a relationship where Harry said something to her, or screamed, shouted, whatever it was, she didn't like his tone. And she told him, I'm not going to be talked to that way by you or by anyone, something to that effect. And Harry said, oh, that's when I decided to get in therapy, because I was like regressing to a 12-year-old. Like, no, like, I feel like Megan is the type of person who's like, you know how she literally like allegedly emailed the staff at Kensington Palace and said, oh, call me princess or whatever. Everybody knows she said to one of them, everyone knows I'm going to be your boss soon, when she and Harry were still dating before even the engagement was announced. So she was already throwing her weight around, saying, I'm going to be the princess and you guys are going to be below me. So like, I personally feel like Megan is running the ship and Harry's just there along for the ride. And he misses a mom figure. Megan is a wife and a mom in a weird way. I don't want to make it seem that way, but like mom to him also. Not a mom to the children, but a mom to Harry. Like he wants another Diana in his life.
Look exactly where that's gotten Harry.
I don't think Harry cares though. Like Harry is like, has this vitriol against his own family to the point where like, even if Megan said, get in the car, we're going to hell, like he would go with her. Like that's what I personally think.
As long as he had a bowl of macaroni and cheese and a coloring book, I think he'll be fine.
Basically, yeah. So like, it's obvious that he doesn't want to lead; he wants to be led. But it's like throwing stones and hiding your hand. Like she'll do stuff, and then, because she said, she talked in the Oprah interview. She's like, being rude about Catherine being called Wadey Katie and being a racist are not the same thing, because she said she was a victim of racism in the UK. Then she sends Harry out to say, we never said racist. And also, there are people in the chat who I want to address this. There's people in the chat who are upset because they say we're not addressing their comments. I'm not looking at the comments. I'm very sorry. But because it's very distracting, because when I look at the comments, I literally cannot see anybody on the screen. But someone asked me to say when I realized Megan was a fraud, because yes, I was a former fan of hers, and yes, I used to run a fan account called Duchess Megan Forever, and I hit 12,000 followers. Yes, I hit 12,000. I hit 12,000 followers in less than a year, or in around 8 months, 9 months. I hit 12,000 followers. I was getting 100 followers a week, right?
Yay! It's a former Sussex squad. Yay!
A former member of the yes.
You are.
And I had explained
therapy.
I had explained how there was a chart that we used to go around in the Sussex squad circles about Meghan's accomplishments next to Catherine's accomplishments, and it was just the typical Wikipedia bullet points of, Meghan went to college, she went to 2 different universities and double majored, and she's in Argentina, UN women, and then Catherine went to college and then married William, and like that was her only list of accomplishments or whatever. They didn't care about all the work she did as a royal, but they felt like Meghan was superior to Catherine because whatever. But I realized that she was a fraud during number 1, the pregnancy, how it was so obvious with Archie that she was seeking too much attention by cradling the bump. And then during the South Africa interview is when I washed my hands and I said, this woman is insane. Like that interview, I was in a state of shock. It was like the wool came off from over my eyes, because I was like, wait a minute. Like I said, Paula was laughing because I said this is not the time or the place for these comments. And I can tell when somebody's acting. I know BS from a mile away because I've been around narcissists who, when they lie, their voice changes, their expressions change. Everything about them is just like fake. Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up levels of fake. Like, it was so fake. And she's like, she's trying to look like she's sad. She's trying, and when you look at sit it side by side with Diana in the Panorama interview, Diana was genuinely hurting. Try to think about a time where you're sad. Look in the mirror and think about a time you're sad. The look on your face is going to be pure sorrow when you're thinking about the saddest time of your life or something that's really hurting you. Megan does not look sad. Whenever she's trying to be sad, even she said that she got paranoid because she said she gets so many death threats that she goes around the house checking to see if the doors are locked. She said this on Netflix, right? Because I watched every episode, 6 hours of my life I'll never get back. But she starts crying. She's like, these people are saying all these things about me, and I'm a mom, and I just want to make sure I'm safe. And I'm thinking to myself, you are one of the most secured, like the levels of security that royals get is next to the level of security that presidents get. You are married to somebody who like comes from one of the most famous families on earth in history, not just like a little corner over there, the British royal family. You have security. Your husband you have security. You cannot have a 10-bedroom house, 16-bedroom house, 55-bedroom house with no security. You have security everywhere you go. You have escorts, and you are the last person who needs to even worry about anybody physically harming you. That's never going to happen.
Don't they have a whole flock of like guard chickens too?
So like
the chicken cool. Hey, did Megan ever make roasted chicken? Because she really keeps going on about it all the
that
time.
recipe in Canada, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's poor Corey, poor bastard.
She stole it from Corey.
Okay, so you guys, I'm so sorry, but I got to cut out.
We have to go too. We have to go too. I just wanted to say thank you to my beautiful. Go subscribe. The Real Thomas Markle Jr. and friends. We'll do another live. We're gonna keep bothering.
I am so low on subscribers. It's not even funny. I just get up.
Yes, we need to get people at the house and hurry up. Go sign up. I'm gonna leave all the links. Everything in the video description is there. Tommy,
people subscribe to me, and then when they realize I don't talk about Megan every day like I used to because I've retired. I only come out of retirement for you, Paula. I come out of my retirement. I want to focus on other things. I'm an artist. I like to travel.
If I get up to 50,000 subscribers, then I will talk about her every day.
Okay, because people subscribe to me and then they realize, oh, she doesn't talk about Megan every day, and then I got like 100 unsubscribes. I was like, damn, where are you guys going? Come back.
Do lives on your channel. I told you, we can come to your channel, Tom. I'd be more than happy to come to your channel.
Okay. I know. I sometimes I get busy, and sometimes I have to take care of all these other things. But,
but say hi to your father.
I'm going to do some practice lives on my computer. So because I'm on my phone right now.
Yeah.
Me too.
But thank you very much for joining, guys. Please go subscribe to The Real Thomas Markle Jr. and friends, P. Dinah and Tommy. And thank you very much for joining. And yes, Tom was not a distant relative. He actually had to change diapers.
Yes.
God, so much for lunch. Damn it.
All right. Bye, you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks so much.
Bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for having me, guys.
Bye-bye. Me too. Bye.
Bye-bye.